Good morning. So it's taken me a while to get these fronts done. How are you going on your fronts? So you can see I've got the fronts up against my back, so I've still got quite a way to go. And it looks skinny, but it's because they're curled up. So you can see once they uncurl, they will fit, but they just look a bit curled up. So here's my fronts. And to keep the pieces for the pocket out the way, I wound it round and round the pocket, that long piece of yarn that's going to sew it up later. I wound it round. It looks really weird, just to keep it out of the way, because you end up with a few bits and pieces just sort of being a bit annoying. But there you go. So I'm getting there slowly. I have been quite busy. I've been out and about and having to do some other things. So I'm getting there. I'll get on with your tutorial. So I hope you're not waiting too long if you're faster than me. And some people have been asking me again to show how I hold the yarn. I got two of these. I call them buckets, but they're actually rubbish bins I found at the big box store we have here in New Zealand called the Warehouse. It's a bit like your Joanne's. No, that's gone. I've forgotten the name of your other shops, but your big box stores. And they were $8, and you had a lid on it that you swing and you put your rubbish bin in. Well, look, I just put my different things in here, so when I pull, they just stay in there. So, and there's my other needle. So that's what I carry around. And when I go out knitting, I can put these into a great big bag and just take them with me just like that when I go out somewhere. But somebody did say to me she got a bit confused, and I'm going to put you up on the other camera where I do my tutorials. When we did this part and you've got all your stitches counted out for your cables, your cable pattern here in between where your pocket went in, when we put the pocket on, and then you didn't have your stitches counted, and she got confused about how to do it again. So I'm going to put you up on the other camera, and just to go over again how you find your stitches again. And somebody else has asked me too, because her pockets are wider, she said she couldn't work out where the cable goes. So just two things I just want to make a little video on that. And I do give my hands a break sometimes of doing the same thing over and over. So when I'm doing a lot of knitting for a cardigan, sometimes I will switch for a day or two for a bit of crochet. And if I'm doing a lot of crochet, I'll switch to a little bit of knitting. And I started doing this. I don't know if you've seen a picture. And look at the beautiful, yes, I think it's showing up. Look at the beautiful. And this was the yarn. So it's just coming up to do the white bit here. And I don't like how it started right on the end of that piece. But that's how it's just decided to put. So I hope it looks all right later, but it's just the yarn. Look at you can see better this side. Look at the different purples and shades in here. So this is the Tonga yarn, and I only have one of these. So this is going to be a shawlette or a cowl that you wear in the front to keep your neck and chest warm. And isn't it gorgeous? And I will put it up for sale. Most of my things go up for sale. So if you ever see something, you can contact me. I have started up a Facebook page where you can add me as a friend and talk to me privately through Messenger, and I've got a page as well. Excuse me, not much on there because I've just started it, but if you have any questions about the crochet and knitting, I don't mind you contacting me, or I do have an email if you ask for the email. I did have the email up in my description, and then I just had some really weird people sending me really weird emails and asking for money and joining joining their courses and things like that. So I took the email down, but if somebody asks for it, I'll give it to you in the comment section. So this is what I worked on for a couple of days just to give my hands a break from the knitting. So I was doing something different. So isn't that pretty? Isn't that just gorgeous? Okay, so I'm going to put you up on the other camera and just answer those questions about the pockets and the stitches for the cable. Okay, so we're up on the table now. So when you had put your pocket in, or your counting for your cable, oh sorry, we're just having a heavy storm and heavy hail. Okay, I hope you can still hear me. Right, maybe I'll wait till it's finished. We're just having a little bit of a hailstorm. Sorry about that. Every time the hail hits the window strong like that, it makes me think the window's going to break, so I can't concentrate. So I just had to wait for that to pass. So it didn't last too long. Okay, so where were we? So when you had all your counting for your cable and your pearls here, all on here, and then when you started knitting right across, someone said she got confused because the pattern wasn't there. So all I did is, say you had your knitting on your needle for this new part, your counting was different to mine because I had a really small pocket. I only had 18 stitches across here for the pocket. Next time I'll make it wider. But my counting, I just started counting along. So I had 8 along here. And so I counted 8, and then I ended up with these 3 here that were part of the pocket, but they're still stocking stitch. And then I had the 3 each side and the 6 in the middle for the pearls and the cable. So I just started from the inside here and counted across and put my stitch markers back in. And then I did it the same for this side. I just started counting again to get my count looking right. And once you've got your pocket sewn up, this is one that's easy to see because the pocket back was a different colour. Don't forget you'll have a little bit of ribbing for the top of your pocket, so you won't see any little mistakes you make down here, so that's fine. So that looks a bit rough, that side, but by the time I sew it up here, it matches up, and then I'll have the little bit of ribbing. So it was just a matter of counting again, and I didn't actually say that, and I do apologise. So the other question I had was, this lady has she has 25 stitches for her pocket. I'm sort of going to show you on the back of the cardigan. We've got a bit more room and we're not looking at the cable, which is distracting. So let's pretend this side is one of your fronts and your pocket was 25 stitches and you wanted to go 10 or 12 stitches in from the edge where your button band's going to be. So I would just count from the edge your 10 or 12 stitches, and then you count your, and you'd put a marker, a stitch marker wherever that ended up, and then you'd count your 25 stitches across, and you'd have your other stitch marker this side. And then what I do is, because I don't do maths very well, is I just count in 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I count 2 stitches until I go in and I get into the middle of the pocket. And then I can easily count the 6 stitches for the cable, the 3 for the pearls for the border, and then and sometimes if you're like 1 or 2 stitches out, it doesn't matter. It's just an approximate of the middle of the pocket. Now you might actually have a big wide pocket, and you might want your cable going up the side of the pocket here. That's perfectly fine. Or you might want to have 2 cables going up the inside of a very wide pocket. You can do whatever you like. So I hope that explains just a little bit of, if you have a wider pocket, many more stitches, that it's just a matter of counting in. I just count 2, 2, 2, 2 until I get into the middle. But you could have it on one side and you could have 2. So I hope that helps. If you do have any questions, please let me know. And yeah, let me know how you're getting on. And yeah, so I will get there. I've got quite a few rows to go. I thought I was sort of nearly there, but I've got quite a few more to go. So hopefully you've been patient and I'll get there eventually. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope this helped answer your questions. Have a good day. Bye.